You may recall this room from other videos. I've repainted in this room. I've done bench repair in this room. I turned this bathroom stall into what I thought was one that would be indestructible. It wasn't. If I recall, I think I fixed a big hole in the wall up there. I know I fixed a big hole in the wall right here. Twice. And I swapped out the lighting in this corridor for a couple of flat panel LEDs. So why am I telling you all this? I'm here today to start working on something that I've wanted to start dealing with for a long time. We finally got the go-ahead to do it. It's a good day.
Buckle up for safety as I give you a day in the life of facilities maintenance.
This room takes a beating. The ceiling takes a beating. The lights take a beating. It just looks horrible. You know the broken window theory. When something's broken, let's see if we can just break more. And so today, what I'm gonna get started on is removing all the ceiling tiles, removing all the T-bar, and removing the lights. As much as I'm not looking forward to going up and down the ladder 100 times, we are going to change the lighting out in here. We've got some LED lights that are very strong, impact resistant. They should hold up. They should light this room a lot better than in the past. And so step one is to start getting rid of all these ceiling tiles. We're moving into summer projects right now. I've got a couple of dumpsters out back. One of them is just for metal. The T-bar can go in that. And one of them is for everything else. And the broken ceiling tiles can go in that. So it's a good time to get started on a project like this. Well, now to clean up this mess in the middle of the floor so I can get at the last few pieces up in the ceiling. Well, if nothing else, what is clearly landing on me at this point in time is that this is a bigger job than I may have first considered. I have everything down except for that perimeter track on this side of the room. Moving over into that little portion there. Yeah, so these lights are on a motion sensor. So if you're in the change room for a prolonged period of time, 15, 20 minutes or so, without going out into the hallway, everything goes dark because the motion sensor is out here in the hallway. There we are. I've actually been wanting to do this job for the last couple of years, but I've needed a window of opportunity in order to do it, and we have some renovations going on in the main gym itself, meaning the gym is going to be out of commission for a month, and the change room can be as well. Wasn't necessarily what I was planning on doing for the next couple of weeks, but opportunity presents itself, and I respond. Okay, now that I've got everything in the middle of the room down, the next thing I need to do is remove that outer track, just all the way around the perimeter. Knowing kids, there's no way that I can leave these partial walls at the height they're at. They'll just throw crap up over top of the wall every single day. So I do have to build the wall up to the underside of the roof decking. That's a for sure. And at the same time, I think I need to leave some access doors because I'm seeing things like this. We've got some ducting here, and we've got a service opening right underneath there, and there's another little hatch right up there. I can't just, let me back up to give you a better view. By the way, that noise in the background is another crew tearing apart the bleachers in the gym. There, you get some perspective if I back up here. I can't just wall that off completely and leave no access to those doors. So what I will need to do is build a little door into there and probably indicate on the outside of the door why the door is there. HVAC service access or something like that. And there's probably a couple other places, if I look around, that I might need to do the same thing. Well, these are proving to be a little more challenging than I first thought, although I think I have a system now. I started the first two just trying to pry these off with a crowbar. These are not coming out of the concrete, these anchors. They are in there. And yeah, it's a lot of work prying these off. Plus I'm at the top of a ladder, and so leverage is a thing. But yeah, angle grinder. I just cut the heads off. There goes that light thing again. Fortunately, my Bluetooth speaker that I have in here is throwing a little bit of light so I can actually see without running into things. Well, I have a bit of a reprieve to report with this project. I was just talking to our operations director, Frank, and he has some electricians here relighting the gym at the high school. So I let him know that this room is ready for lighting. and he is just going to tack this on to the job that they're doing out in the gym. So I do not have to worry about changing out these old fixtures for our new strip lighting. That will be done, which is awesome, because then I can just move straight into the next part of this project that I will be looking after, and that is, excuse me, the pony wall above the existing wall. That will be tedious and time-consuming and tricky, to say the least, because there are a lot of obstacles that I will need to work around. That's 5/8 drywall in the areas that are drywalled. Those are easy. I can just extend that up here, extend that up,
Because it's already drywall on metal stud in these locations.
This is a full pour-in-place wall. It was a tilt-up. That already goes up to this ceiling. So really, what I'm looking at is wherever you see this cinder block, I have to build up there to the ceiling. And this piece here, I have to build up as well. But I also want to consider order of operations. As a home inspector, I saw so many different things where one trade would step on the work of another or damage the work of another because they needed to get access to something or they needed to do something in a particular way, and it could have been avoided. In this case, we are going to need to reconfigure the sprinkler heads because they will no longer meet code, being at what the previous ceiling height used to be. They will need to move up to cover the area above them now. In order to do that, I don't know if the sprinkler guys will just want to turn the existing heads around and point them upward, or if they will want to actually run new supply lines in this area here to accommodate the new heads. I don't know that. So until I know that, I do not want to build my pony wall on top of the cinder block that has the sprinkler lines running through it, because what I build might interfere with what they need to do.
So it may be better to let them do their work first before I build the pony wall.
So what I can do at this point is extend the drywall on these areas that are already framed.
Well, I've already gotten word that the sprinkler guys will not need to reconfigure the main line, so I can start in on the pony wall.
Okay, what I'm working on now is just measuring out sill plate, putting my blocking in place, and then when I'm finished doing that, I will fasten them to the top of the wall. This is the frame out for the access hatch. The rest of the plates are sitting in place, at least on this part of the cinder block wall. So, do I hammer them in, or do I move on to the next wall? I guess that answers the question.
Well, like I said,
It's slow progress, working around all the framework and ducting, and it's itchy, because every time I'm up there I knock some of that insulation down my back. Yes, it can happen to me.
in fact, you may be noticing a pattern, and that's that it happens to me too often. Okay, this section's now ready for drywall. Sort of. There's a lot of back framing that still needs to be done.
So I had to make a run to town to get some parts. And when I came back, the electrician was in here and he had started working on the lights. But he had disabled these 3 in this area up here, and those 2 that are hanging down over there, these guys, they were energized. And he said, yeah, I'm just gonna leave those on here so I can see what I'm doing. And so I thought, okay, I'll go do some work in my office for a bit. I left him alone. He left at 4 o'clock. I worked till 6, so I came down here to bang off another couple hours and find out that he has left me completely in the dark. I guess I'm pausing this until tomorrow, which wasn't my plan, because when I start working on something, I kind of like to keep chipping away at it until I'm done. I'll see you tomorrow. I need to pick up 3 sheets of 5/8 drywall. I'm not gonna lift this stuff myself. I want a hand. I've been here a while. They've announced it a couple times. The wait is on. That was the 3rd announcement. Normally I have a truck full of tools, but when I have to pick up stuff like this, I have to take the time and empty everything out. And with some careful planning, it's even possible for me to get this stuff into the back of my truck myself. The new LED strip lighting is in, and yeah, really effective, I would say. Throws a lot of light. I just have one issue with the electrician's work.
He drops stuff down the toilet. He's as bad as the kids who expect others to clean up after his mess. But if I don't clean it up, someone's going to flush the toilet. Well, with the electrician out of here and the parts cleaned out of the toilet, I have about an hour left in the day that I can start framing up this section of wall.
I'm so close to being finished the framing, and I'm short lumber. I finished framing this side by the shower, and on the other wall, I framed all of that. I don't know if you can see where the tip of my level is sticking out right there. I need one more board. It's not that I really measured incorrectly, although I probably could have added 10% overage. I've done quite well, but I just need one more piece of lumber. And I have to say that I did quite well with screws too. I have got 9 left of the bag that I purchased for this project. It's gone dark again in here, which means that this is a good place to end this for today, and I will be back tomorrow, starting on the drywall.